no ball watching on the backside on their defense. In addition, Jacksonville needs to push the tempo and get some really easy goals.
Bellarmine struggled in the face-off game through their 2 games, 19.5%. And here's a good start for Jacksonville. Ball comes in on the fast break at the point is Stagnita to Riley, back to Stagnita. Stagnita controlling the offense. The Johns Hopkins transfer over to Dolan. Dishes it off to Winston. So you look at the 3 top midfielders for Jacksonville University, Jeremy Winston, Dolan, and Evan Tyler. 3 of the leading scorers, Jeremy Winston over to Stagnita, back to Brett Riley to Dolan. And on the field on offense with the starting midfield is Goddard. Goddard fumbles, slips, recovers, picks it back up. Here comes Jeremy Winston, left-handed dodge, down the left alley, early, quick double, lots of slipping and sliding. And that's a turnover for Jacksonville. Ball is picked up, Bellarmine ball, that's Fennell, into the offensive end. Here's Robbins. Robbins shot wide, it looks like Baker got it. Back up by the goalie, so a couple of things there. Early slide for Bellarmine.
Yeah, and not only that, but Bellarmine likes to pick up the ball in transition, especially with their pulls between Goddard and Rubik. You'll see them all day transfer the ball down the field.
And that's a lucky break for Jacksonville. The slip and the turnover, opportunity in transition for Bellarmine. Back up by the goalie, Adam Baker. Jacksonville gets their second chance on offense as Goddard handles the ball. Hedinger comes out of the substitution area. So I'm expecting Jacksonville to sub 4, 5, 6 middies and interchange those between the top 2 lines and try to wear down this Bellarmine defense, especially in transition. Goddard with the ball right now, left-handed cradle, dishes it off to Winston, cuts back towards the middle, locked, loaded, shot, just wide. So we have the starting goalie for Bellarmine is Jack Bozick. 2 other goalies have played this season so far, Riley and Higginbotham. Both of them are unavailable. It looks like Bellarmine just has the one keeper in Bozick, the sophomore. There's Stagnita behind the goal, left-handed cradle, pushing to X. Errant pass out of bounds, second turnover, second possession, second turnover for Jacksonville. So as a goalie coming in, really probably not expecting to play, to have 2 turnovers for Jacksonville, facing no shots on goal, it gives you a little chance to settle in.
Yeah, I think Stagnita had a little bit of the butterflies in his stomach. It is game 1 for Jacksonville.
There's Whiteford. Olin Unmoye with the ball. So Bellarmine gets to settle it on offense for the first time. Right-handed cradle. Good pressure, good switch off. There's a pass inside. Second pass. Baker picks up the mess in front of the goal. Was a scoring chance for Bellarmine, but they couldn't handle the ball. A little sloppy play early on. There's Morris. Back to Baker. Jacksonville dodges another bullet, so there was a man open on the crease.
Yeah, it looks like Bellarmine went into a 1-4-1 on that set, right?
Successful clear for Jacksonville. Back into the offensive end for possession number 3. Back to Riley. Up top to Stagnita. It'll be interesting to see how Bellarmine handles the pulls, whether they bump up and double pull the midfield. Don't see Tyler on the field yet. There's an errant shot wide. Decent look, decent offense.
Yeah, that's an opportunity where Stagnita had one more down low. There was Brett Riley on the pipe.
So Lamont starts with the ball. Over to Hedinger.
You'll see most of the game where Jacksonville is going to initiate 90% of their offense from the midfield.
So we got both Heeds on the field for Jacksonville right now. Tom Heed on attack and Jack Heed on defense, number 1 and number 22. There's a shot from Dolan. High heat sails over the goal, but another good look. I like the aggressive shooting right now. We've seen in the past where Jacksonville seems to wait for the perfect shot. I think they have to test the sophomore goalie.
And you notice Bellarmine came out with a quick double team, too, with Dolan on the ball.
We noticed that in the Utah game. They were quick to hedge and slide and double and very aggressive, team-oriented defense. So look for those hockey assists on that second pass. Here comes Heed. Dishes it back behind to Riley. Over to Stagnita. Stagnita's got a shorty on him right now.
Shot clock
and
violation.
Shot clock. Unaware. I heard the bench chanting it, but I don't know if the players heard it.
Didn't look like it because there was no sense of urgency.
So the longer they allow Bozick, the goalie, first start of the season, to stay in this game and settle down, the better off he's going to be. That's a successful clear as he's across the midfield line. Into the offense. Feed down low. Heed on defense. That's Plaisted. Kyle Plaisted, 2 goals, 2 assists on the season. Bellarmine has 7 players with 2 goals on the season so far during their 2 games. Roth is out for the season, injured in the first game following a 2-goal performance. There's Trout. Keep an eye on Landon Trout.
Bellarmine being very patient on offense, and there we had a turnover.
Errant passes. We've seen probably 3 or 4, not a lot of pressure, not being contested, just sailing the ball away, a little bit of sloppy play. Look at Bellarmine drop back towards the midfield line, put the pressure on Jacksonville, give them that first third of the field, and then kind of jam things up towards the midfield line in the clearing game. Heed with the overpass to Hedinger.
Jacksonville's offsides.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That's a first game error. Very silly mistake for Jacksonville, and they're giving possessions. They're turning over possessions unnecessarily to Bellarmine.
And this is going to work into Bellarmine's strength. They really like to settle the ball on offense and really work, make the defense work for the full 80 seconds.
There's Plaisted behind the goal. Marked by Hedinger. Back up top to Bowie.
They have Jeremy Winston trapped on defense.
Just feed to the backside. It's tipped. It's picked up by Teo. Back out top to Whiteford. Back to Teo. Left-handed dodge. Good defense by Garrity. Jacksonville lost track of that ball. It's a battle at the midfield line and knocked over. Great play from Bellarmine. That's number 41, Robbins, to keep it in the offensive end. So extends the possession for Bellarmine. Feed on the crease. Shot, score! Goal by number 14, Braden Brown.
I just mentioned earlier in the possession how Bellarmine likes to control the ball and the tempo, and like we mentioned earlier, slow it down a little bit, and drew the slide, and Jacksonville left the crease wide open.
The one impressive thing that I noticed in watching Bellarmine is you think you have them covered. There on the crease, he certainly has a player next to him, and it's not necessarily ball watching, but you need to be ready to make the check as that feed comes in. And you don't always need to rely on your goalie to yell check sticks. If you see that feed coming, you just have to hammer the gloves and the stick of the player you're covering, because they will throw it into traffic. Great finish for Bellarmine. It's 1-0. Strong face-off win for Jacksonville. Slow break. There's Brett Riley working it back through X. Luke Robinson up to Stagnita. Here's Jeremy Winston with the shorty on him. Skips to his right. Quick recovery and double. Now, if Jacksonville doesn't get something in the first 20 seconds of the possession, they will slow it down, back it out. They want to keep pushing with their transition team and their attack in the early possessions. And now they get the substitutes on. Trapetta.
And Tom Heed joined
nice
well.
First save for Bozic off the Trapetta shot. So Tyler Morris just took the helmet and a clean hit. No call. We're playing on. They might stop it for the injury time, and they do. Tyler Morris, he timed that perfectly. It was nothing cheap about it. It was he's a big man.
Yeah, he saw the fact that Bellarmine was going to hit the attacker in the middle of the field, and
I don't think there's any question. It wasn't targeting. I think it was certainly he ran. He was only about 5 yards away when that pass was made and closed the gap pretty quickly. He could have stood still. That's how big and solid Tyler Morris is, and the impact would have been very similar with him just running into the big man.
And in today's game, this is always a question whether they're going to throw the flag or not on those type of hits.
Most of the time, I think they will. I'm pleasantly surprised, right, just because I think it was a clean hit, no malice.
And the Bellarmine coaching staff, rightly so, is a little upset about that one.
There's Heed. Back to Trapetta. Over to Winston. Winston down that right alley. To Lamond. Jacksonville only had one scrimmage against outside of their own team, and that was a 12-2 victory at Limestone. There's Heed. Back to Stagnita. Back to Trapetta. Left-handed cradle, the transfer from Fairfield.
Jacksonville's having trouble right now breaking down their matchups.
Testing the goalie once again. It's a shot and a save. Jack Bozic off the lefty rocket from Jeremy Winston. So 2 strong saves, looking solid in the cage, is Jack Bozick.
As you mentioned earlier, Ray, the fewer shots you get on goal earlier in the game, the stronger he's going to get as the game goes on.
A couple of early saves, a couple of turnovers, and his confidence is sky high right now. Spectator in the first 2 games, as Riley and Higginbotham don't appear available today. There's Trout settling it up. So Trout running down that left alley, banging it back through X. So Jim, what do you see here? It's an inside dive move and cleaned up by Adam Baker. Up to Dixon Smith. They don't have numbers, but doesn't mean they're necessarily going to slow it down. Stagnita, the quarterback of the offense, over to Dolan. Now they'll settle it down. 20 seconds into the possession. Winston and Dolan, 2 of the leaders, scoring leaders over the past few years.
I think this is the 4th or 5th Jacksonville possession, and each possession they've had a different set of trio of midfielders out there.
There's Winston, marked by Tomas, off of that pick, over to Dolan on the right side. Down the right alley, shot, score! Dolan on the goal.
Jack Dolan with a little split dodge going down the alley, and finally had a matchup he liked, and he had a one-on-one, and Bellarmine couldn't slide.
We're going to go ahead and take our first break of the day. Our score is Jacksonville 1.
Championship action is
the action. A little scrum off the face-off. Ball was knocked out of bounds off of Bellarmine, so Jacksonville has the possession. There's Hedinger to Dolan. They are mixing up the midfield. Once again, we've got 3 guys I don't think we've seen run together on the early afternoon. Here's Dolan, invert, back behind the cage, left hand, coming strong to the right. Trying to work that pick. Ball is batted down, controlled by Dolan. Double team. See if Jacksonville can move the ball. Somebody's open. Back to the near side. Split. Feed to the crease. Batted in by Luke Robinson. Good ball movement, scrappy play. Jacksonville did not give up on the play, and it almost looked like Robinson batted it in. Let's see. Referees are discussing illegal body check, 1 minute, but the goal counts. Jim, I'm not even sure he caught that or if he just batted it in.
No, that was yeah, it wasn't really even a quick stick if you looked at it. He just kind of swung at the ball and pushed it into the cage, which is a good play.
Looks like Jacksonville's overcoming a little bit of their early game nerves. The interesting thing about that play was the aggressive defense forced the ball on the ground, but Jacksonville didn't give up with it. And I think if Jacksonville can learn to handle that pressure early, there are going to be guys open all over the field because they are so aggressive as Bellarmine's swarming to the ball.
Yeah, Bellarmine thought they had Jack Dolan trapped behind X, and 2 passes later, the ball's in the back of the net.
So this is a man-down face-off. The far wing is open. Clean face-off win. Important time for a face-off win for Bellarmine. Jacksonville puts it on the ground, see if they have enough time to get it to the other end and set up their man up. They've got a man open in the offensive end. There's Dolan. So the man-up opportunity with 48 seconds in the extra man still remaining. So Jacksonville does have some time to settle it down. Be interesting to see the personnel here for the first man-up opportunity. There's Hedinger to Stagnita, to Lamond, Jeremy Winston, Garrity, back to Dolan. So they got it around one time, catching their breath. It's popping on the crease.
Looks like they went from an open set to almost like a 2-2-2. Or
there's that skip pass. Nice hitch, feed to the crease, shot, score! Dolan from Garrity, great ball movement. They're finding some seams in the inside of the defense right on the crease.
And Dolan just does a good job finding space in the middle of the defense on the man up.
It's so important on man up to make the defense respect the shot from outside, and it opens things up on the crease. And although Jacksonville hasn't scored from a distance so far, Bellarmine is showing that respect, and Jacksonville has done a nice job of finding the seams. Back-to-back goals on the doorstep. 3-1 is our score. Jacksonville on top of Bellarmine, 4-10. 2 Southern Conference teams playing a non-conference game to start the season. Nice face-off win there by Cap. Nathan Cap with the clean draw. Jacksonville with a possession. Lamont to Winston. So keep your eye on that number 1 slide. Watch how early he comes and how much he hedges towards the ball. And the key for the Bellarmine defense is to make sure the second and the third slide are in place. Congest those passing lanes. Here's Trapetta. Back to Stagnita. A couple of new players, transfers. Invert Trapetta.
We saw this a little bit in the Limestone game, and we were wondering if we were going to see it today. It looks like it's going to be in the arsenal.
Just running midfielders / attack minutes. So many of these guys are both. They're hybrids. Attack, midfield, doesn't matter. Find the short stick matchup and try to take it. And here's Stagnita. Gets the short stick. Feeds to the crease. Ball is batted down. Took a hit.
There was that early slide you were talking about.
Way to keep that play moving for Bellarmine. And a great job by Braden Brown to check up on that Jacksonville stick. And it's going to be Bellarmine ball. So it was a contested ground ball at the midfield line. Earlier we saw Bellarmine knock it over. This time Bellarmine keeps Jacksonville from knocking it over, so it's over and back into the offense. Here's Whiteford, one of the trio of Canadian goal scorers, along with Braden Brown and Kyle Playstead. James Whiteford, number 23.
I would expect a long possession here.
There's Bowie.
Bellarmine's played a lot of defense in the last 3 minutes.
Teo, he's going to have a run at Jeremy Winston, right-handed cradle. Nice backside feed. There's Whiteford. Back to O'Rourke and throw it away. So an unforced error, turnover. Jacksonville wants to run it out of the gate. Paul Sissio, my Cortland teammate, the referee, says slow it down. Feed across to Dolan, successful clear for Jacksonville. So now we've got Dolan and McKenna, another different midfield matchup, along with Goddard. You're right, Jim. There's probably been 6 combinations already.
It's got to be part of the strategy today. It's 70 degrees. It's earlier in the season. It's very hot and muggy out there.
You know, we watched that Utah-Bellarmine game, and it looked frosty in Louisville. And it is muggy. Not just 71. It is muggy. It's cloudy, and that humidity staying on this turf field. There's McKenna. Over to Goddard. McKenna to Dolan. Dolan's got that long pole and a nice check. Ball is down. Slip sliding. Robinson's got to run at it, but Bellarmine comes up with it. They've got numbers. Off to the point man. Shot from distance. Save Adam Baker. Ball is loose, and Baker comes out of the goal, picks it up. John Galloway, just such a great goalie in general, but in the clearing and passing game, he raved about Adam Baker's ability outside of the cage. Not just passing, not just clearing, but he steals a couple of possessions every time he's out there.
You'll see him. He's very aggressive outside of the cage.
And that was a dart he just threw to Hedinger on the clear. So that's a little bit of what we hope to expect for Jacksonville on the defensive end.
And again, a new set of midfielders coming out for Jacksonville.
Yeah, we got Trapetta and Heed. Here comes Heed. Left-handed cradle, back to Trapetta. He steps in, throws to the backside. Ball is loose. Trapetta comes up with it. Looking to that backside. There's Riley. Shot, score! Goal by number 26, Hedinger from Riley off a bouncing ball. And we don't call it a garbage goal. It's a clean-up, recycled goal.
You know what? I thought Trapetta, he had a shot early, and he moved the ball, and it led to an easy goal, which, it's good to see Jacksonville move the ball to the right spots.
When you have a defense flying around, early slides, doubles, chaos, there's usually something open on the backside. And if you can get that second assist, that hockey assist, keep that ball swinging to the backside, there's usually good things come from it, and we saw it right there.
Yep.
4-1 is our score with 24.8 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Clean win on the face-off by Cap. Opportunity shot. That was Young. Nice save by Bozic. That was a shot you might expect from an LSM.
Yeah.
Here's an opportunity in transition over the goal.
Especially with the quarter winding down like it is. We're not used to seeing Jordan Young at the LSM position.
Now, he's played close most of his career. He's a tremendous athlete and stick handler. And that's the end of the first quarter. That was an exciting first quarter. Our score is Jacksonville 4, Bellarmine 1. We'll be back to the action from Jacksonville University, Division I men's lacrosse on ESPN+.
Out there really was what carried them to the lead in the first quarter.
Bellarmine's face-off woes have come back to bite them a bit. Unofficial stats right now are 5-1 in favor of Jacksonville. Cap doing a nice job, and Dolan on the wing, along with Connor Shears. Clean win. That's Dolan on the wing. Cap with another face-off. Possession for Jacksonville with a 4-1 lead. Non-conference game between two Southern Conference foes. Stagnita off to Goddard. Got that shorty. Step down shot, score from distance. Connor Shears. That's going to stretch the defense out.
Yeah, it is. We were kind of wondering why he was staying on the field on the offensive set, and we found out why he was there.
You know, that's a guy who was all conference for Bucknell, another transfer, and so Jacksonville's definitely got some contribution so far today from transfers. You look at Stagnita, Trapetta, and now Shears contributing.
It's just nice having that leadership come in and replace the leadership that left.
That's going to pay dividends later in the game. They're going to have to respect that in transition, because Jacksonville doesn't just run their transition players off, whether it's short stick defensive middies or LSMs. They're going to stay in the offense, and when you step down from about 14 yards out and are able to rifle one in, it gets the defense's attention. Young, first-time ground ball into the offense. Over to Stagnita, looking for the backside. Jordan Young hustles off. Waiting for Goddard to step back on. So Stagnita, Winston with the ball. Dolan.
Hey, once again, Jacksonville's going to initiate the offense with the midfielders.
With the shorty out top, that's Winston, left-handed dodge down the alley. Watch how quick. There's the hedge. Back to Stagnita. Over to Goddard. Back to Dolan. Dolan attacking the LSM. Roll back, throw back to Winston. Slipping and sliding. Seen that quick double and release. Recovery for Bellarmine as Jacksonville tries to spin that ball back around. Riley from Stagnita. Up top to Dolan. Not afraid to dodge on the pole. And they know help's coming. Just keep that ball spinning. Here comes Winston from the wing on a pole. We've seen him slip probably 3 times so far. Loses footing. Once at the other end and twice just now. There's feed to the crease. Back out top. Step down Winston. Shot save! Goalie save Bozic.
I've been impressed by Bozic so far. He's really been composed in the cage.
Bodies are flying, and impressed by Bellarmine's scrappiness on defense. Yeah, Bozic's made some great saves, and that lifts up the defense because they're reeling a little bit. Jacksonville on a run of goals. Jacksonville had their chance. Really nice job by Luke Robinson to bounce it back out for Winston's step down. Looked like an offsides, and that's a shot and a score.
No.
Oh, no, they're saying play on. I wasn't the only one.
I believe what you saw was a stick hit the net.
Okay, and that's a stop for Bellarmine. So they need a possession here. They've got it across with 67 seconds left. One of the keys to the game that we mentioned was play 6-on-6 lacrosse. And on offense, Jacksonville does have a strong defense. It's early in the season. It's their first game, so you want to test them out, find the weak link. And they haven't had a lot of possession on offense.
And the defense comes up with back-to-back stops, and so now the offense has to reward the defensive play.
There's Trout. Intercepted by Baker. We mentioned it, out of the goal. He steals possessions, and Baker does it right there. Look at Galloway. He's going nuts. That's a John Galloway-like play.
If you get sloppy at X and you don't go ball side, Adam Baker's going to do that every time to you.
Jack Heed goes across. His brother, Tom, comes from the attack position to step back over. They're going to call offsides. It looked like Tom was a little bit late. So Jack gets called for the offside. The Heed brothers contributing, but that is a turnover. And into the offensive end, Here comes Rhodes, Preston Rhodes. As Bellarmine goes through their substitution regimen. Placed it, covered by Morris. Back out top to the Florida product, Bowie from Benjamin High School. Senior Griffin Bowie, number 36. Over to Preston Rhodes. Flag down. So Jacksonville is going to have a delayed penalty called against them. Feed, shot, score! And another penalty after the goal. Looks like it was a push that's going to be wiped out. Did not see the goal score. He got mobbed by his teammates. Thinking it was Preston Rhodes, but we'll wait for the official call.
It was hard to tell. There were a lot of white shirts around the Bellarmine player, too, when he scored that goal.
Falling, sneaks it under the stick of Adam Baker, and Bellarmine cuts in the Jacksonville's margin, 5-2. 11:07 remaining in the second quarter. You know, we had talked about Bellarmine coming into this game 19.5% on the face-offs. They've had 6 different players taking the draw. Now they're facing off with the long pole, trying to contest that ground ball. Jordan comes up with it. Jordan Young comes up with it, but it's immediately checked away. Possession to Bellarmine. Big face-off. Well, whether it's a face-off win or not, that's just a statistical decision about whether it was won, because Young did come up with the ball, but in all reality, that's a Bellarmine win. Here comes Bowie. Across the top of the formation, shot deflected. Backed up by Bellarmine, so the Knights will bring it back into play. Legnard to Teo. Spinning it around, shot just wide. Tomas with the rifle just wide.
Looks like Bellarmine showing a little bit more sense of urgency on their offensive side.
They are spinning it. Oladunamaye. Back to Whiteford. Shot over the goal once again. They're getting their chances.
It's interesting, Ray. In Utah, we saw them set a lot of picks on the ball, and we haven't seen that yet today.
Legnard covered by Heed. Left-handed cradle through X, trying to get to that top side. Well defended by Heed. Ball is on the ground. Heed comes up with it, takes some pressure, spins it back to Baker, rolls away from trouble. Lefty settles it down. Long pass upfield, and it's connected. Antonucci on the clear. Good team defense and clearing between Heed, Baker, and Antonucci. So Jacksonville gets to catch their breath here on offense. Heed and Tripetta. Working that invert as Heed runs back behind the goal, covered by Tomas. Right-handed cradle from X. If you watch, Fennell is coming so quick from the crease, number 3. Goes and switches off. Dolan, right-handed cradle, trying to get underneath. Back across the goal line extended. Spins it around from Riley, back to Tripetta. That first slide's playing about halfway every time.
Right. And if you notice, Jacksonville actually gave them that free side because the midi was on the standing on the restraining line, so there was no penalty for coming and sliding early.
Shot score from about 13 yards. Dolan on the goal. Stretched that defense out. I think he caught the goalie napping.
He did, and Dolan in the middle of the field like that is going to pick corners on you. So it's one place you do not want to have Jack Dolan shoot from.
So, Jim, let's go back to the point you were making earlier about giving them that free slide or double, just not being a threat on offense.
Yeah, just the midi. I don't know if it was Tripetta or Dolan, but they were standing on the restraining line, and it doesn't put any pressure on the defense. So basically, at that point, you're playing five offense versus 6 defense.
Once again, I like Jacksonville's urgency in playing free. They're not waiting for that perfect shot. I would say probably from 13 yards out, maybe not with Dolan shooting, but the goalie's going to save that probably more times than not. But test him. It's his first start of the season. Not sure how much he's played over the years. I don't think he came in to the week probably expecting to play. But in these times when you don't know what the rosters are going to look like from time to time, everybody has to be ready.
We've also seen Jack Dolan score a lot of goals from that range and that spot.
Here's Hedinger. Hedinger once again off the pick from Garrity. Playing straight up with the shorties on the midfielders. No double polling so far. Here comes Garrity. He's going to step down. Now he backs it out. Hedinger's got to give him a little bit more space and clear through when that double comes. Luke Robinson. Right-handed cradle. There's Jeremy Winston. Back out to Hedinger. Back to Garrity. Feed to the crease. Shot. Score! Robinson from Garrity. Once again, they're finding the seams on the crease.
Robinson really slipped behind his defender. We talked about Jacksonville not ball watching. Bellarmine got ball watching on that one.
The slick Canadian finisher with a pretty goal. Our score is 7-2. We're going to go ahead and take a media timeout. 7:33. Welcome back to Jacksonville University. 7:33 to go in the second quarter. The Dolphins lead 7-2. Jacksonville over Bellarmine. Two Southern Conference foes in a non-conference game. Cap's done a nice job at the face-off, Jim. It was a weakness of Bellarmine, and JU's been able to expose him a little bit. Here's a win right off the base. Stagnita. Little bit of aggressive play. The passes were there. They're just not connecting.
That's the offense that John Galloway wants to have. It's an early possession, and they're going to push the tempo.
That was Connor Shears who scored a goal earlier. Probably was thinking about that celebration he was going to do after his second goal of the day because he was open streaking through. But it's a turnover. Good ride, heavy ride. That's Garrity. Bellarmine's able to break through as Trout comes across, dishes it off to Rhodes. So, Garrity's a new player. I don't know how much he's been playing defense behind the goal, but he's got a challenge ahead of him. Rhodes, right-handed cradle, across the goal line extended. Trying to get topside on Heed, turned away. Skip pass through the formation. Keegan. 27 seconds left on the shot clock. That's Trout. Very dangerous, especially with the shorty on him. Trying to get to the front. Topside shot. Blocked by Baker. Goes out of bounds. It's going to be staying with Bellarmine. So nice job by Adam Baker, the goalie, holding that near side pipe and just taking one for the team. Preston Rhodes. Left-handed cradle. Trying to get underneath. Rolls back to the top side, wraparound shot, saved by Baker. Adam Baker, the save maker, earning his nickname with back-to-back saves. Over to Garrity.
Bellarmine likes that matchup. They got two quality shots off, but Baker stoned them both times.
The first one didn't have a great angle. He improved his angle that time, but read perfectly by Adam Baker. Nice clear from Jacksonville. Brett Riley dishes it off to Goddard. Left-handed cradle out top on the shorty. Swings it over to Jeremy Winston. Down that left alley. Banging it back behind through X to Riley. And Goddard, here's going to take a run at this short stick matchup. Prefers that left hand. Swings it back up top to Dolan on that shorty. He's going to take one from that left hand. The double comes early. Winston lets it fly. Check comes in. Sails high. Backed up by Matt Stagnita.
Jacksonville tried to catch Bellarmine on that hedge that we were talking about where the defensive player only goes halfway, and Jeremy didn't make him pay for it.
They looked a little jammed up, Jacksonville, a little too close. A little more spacing, make that guy hedging or sliding have to travel a little bit further. Riley from X, up top to Robinson. Quick release over to Goddard. He was shooting before he caught the pass. Kicked forward by Bellarmine. They've got numbers. They've got a 5-on-4 break here if they recognize it. Jeremy Winston hustles back to stop the 54. Successful defensive stand from Bellarmine, even though Jacksonville was spinning the ball pretty good. One fumble of that pass. Here's a streaking player out of the substitution box. Shot, sails it high. Griffin Bowie just raced out of that substitution box, running free with about a 12-yard shot at full speed and sails it over the goal. 4:34 to go in the second quarter. Jacksonville 7, Bellarmine 2. Teo, covered by Hedinger, forcing him outside of those hash marks on the football lines. Right-handed cradle. Looking to the crease. Skipped through. Baker took a stab at that one. It was coming through. And Jim, as an attackman, College of Worcester legend, when the goalie's picking off passes and disrupting it, it's in your head. You have to think about it.
It really is, and they kind of forced the crease on that one. It really wasn't there.
Good ball movement. Here comes Plaisted. Dixon Smith trying to keep him behind that goal line extended. He's fighting for the top side. Rolling. Check to the gloves. Ball is bobbled. Here comes numbers. 4-on-3 break. 4-on-3 break for Jacksonville. Off to the point man. Stagnita shot deflected. Jacksonville running it out. It's going to be close. They're giving it to Bellarmine. So Bryce Hutchinson started that break. Jim, is that a take for Stagnita, or do you want to see that the guy streaking on the break take and draw a little bit more?
I actually would have liked to have seen him draw another defender and dump it into an easier goal.
So, stop, backed up by the goalie Bozic. Bellarmine possession. 3:10 to go in the quarter.
See if Bellarmine goes ahead to the, there they go, they got the shorty matchup behind him, but Jacksonville was able to switch out of it.
So Dolan stuck on defense. That's Trout. Switched off to Morris. Plaisted's got time. Gap was closed pretty well by Fairbanks. Feed ball is batted down. It's picked up by Dixon Smith. Loops it back to Baker. That was some good defense. We're seeing some new players rotate in on defense, and Jacksonville's laying some checks. They're not just taking up space or throwing sticks.
Very aggressive on-ball defense.
Sam Chase out there for Jacksonville. Product of McClay High School over in Tallahassee, a couple hours up the road. Father Brooke played at Syracuse. Brother Stephen played at Notre Dame. That's number 2 for Jacksonville. Here comes Heed down the right alley. Behind the goal to Chase. Out top. So you see Jacksonville both on offense and defense starting to run a few more subs. They've been doing it all day on offense, but we're seeing it on defense. And as hot and humid as it is, they are subbing, and it looks like Galloway's trying to get a timeout. So, Jim, we're going to stay here through this break. 1:39, good timeout, good time to settle things down. You've got some new players out there. Catch your breath. 30 seconds on the shot clock, so you have to get right into it, but at least you can talk through it.
Yeah, you can, and I think what really caused that Jacksonville timeout was Bellarmine decided to lock off Jack Dolan on that one. And so it kind of,
I got to tell you, Adam Baker is everything the Jacksonville faithful were hoping and expecting for. He's making saves, and he's very confident out of the goal.
And he's doing a really good job directing the defense, and because it doesn't look like the defense has been out of position very much today. And a lot of that comes from the fact that the goalie's communicating where the slide's coming from and what's going on behind him.
So back on offense for Jacksonville. Looks like Dolan is going to start off with the ball, and they did bump Rubik up to cover him, so we were wondering if they were going to push one of those defenders up to the midfield, and they have done that with Dolan, not shutting him off, but Jacksonville's content on letting Hedinger have a run at it. Back to Winston, a lot of movement out front. Left-handed shot, scores! Corner is stung, late hit, penalty flag comes flying. What a tremendous goal for Jacksonville. That was number 55 on the goal,
yeah,
Ethan Lamond with a stinger.
Yeah, he just climbed up the hash behind the defender, and from about 7 or 8 yards, he, like you said, he's done the top corner. It was a beautiful shot.
New Hope, Pennsylvania, LaSalle college high school, and just a tremendous shot. I know Coach Galloway's mentioned on our radio show how much he likes him. He showed some things in that final game of last year's abrupted season against Duke, and just a tremendous job. Catch and release, stung the corner, took the hit, and now it's a 6-goal lead with 1:27 to go. All the faceoffs are important, but if Cap can get this one and Jacksonville can get another possession here, it would go a long way to really demoralizing Bellarmine. And the coach is reading the riot act to Tomas in the penalty box. Man-up opportunity if they can win this faceoff for Jacksonville.
This game's tough enough playing from behind, but you don't want to put your defense in a position of being man down again after a goal like that.
I don't know if they were locked in or not. I did not see that call, but here comes the man up as Lamond took that hit like a champion, and he's back out there for the extra man. So it's a Jacksonville power play with 1:15 to go, and there's a timeout. Timeout called by Jacksonville. So once again, Jim will stay here through the break. The sun is out. When we were driving over here, it looked like a little bit of pea soup. It was so Coach Galloway out of the timeout, drawing up something in this possession that's critical for Bellarmine to make a stop. Here's Stagnita. Moving to the crease is Stagnita. Dolan to the backside. Shot, score! Was that Lamond again? Or Hedinger? I think that was 26 Hedinger. Just stung it. Not a great angle, but good ball movement, and it was early in the possession.
Yeah, they had an off-ball wheel going on, and again, Bellarmine was just caught off covering the ball carrier and leaving the man open from behind.
So Troy Hedinger has carried the big stick for the last couple years, and you see him just slipping across the goal line extended, gets to that sweet spot just outside of 5-5 and stings that near side corner, stick side high, in Jacksonville with a 9-2 lead.
And now you know why they took the pole out of his hand, because that was a beautiful shot.
It really was, and both of those shots. And here comes a fast break. There's Cap to Stagnita. One more pass down low. Good patience shown by Robinson. It wasn't there. Bellarmine did a good job hustling back, trying to get something out of the break as Winston goes. Winston's got a little bit of a head start out of the box, but Jacksonville probably going to hold it for the last shot. The shot clock is off. We're approaching 30 seconds. Here comes Stagnita. Trapetta. Trapetta with that shorty. Down that right alley. Hedging, sliding, switching. Bellarmine's defense is very active, and if Jacksonville can just spin that ball a little faster than the defense rotates, they'll continue to get good shots. There's Dolan, draw, dumps. One more pass, down low, backside look. Jeremy Winston wants it. Time is expiring, and Winston attempts a pass to Luke Robinson. Dolan, as time expires, sails one high. Wow, what an exciting half. 9 goals for Jacksonville. We're at the half. Jacksonville 9. Ready for this second half action. Cap 13-1 on faceoffs in the first half. Dominating performance. Wins the clamp. Dolan picks it up. It's another successful faceoff for Jacksonville, and Bellarmine is on their heels.
They really are, Ray. And we were just talking at the halftime about how does Bellarmine get back into this game, and they're really going to have to try to win this quarter and then see what happens in the fourth.
Here's Evan Tyler. First time we've seen him today. One of the all-time leading scorers in Jacksonville lacrosse. Up to Dolan, back to Winston. This is what we expected the number one midfield line to be coming into the season with these three returners. There's Luke Robinson trying to get underneath a little twister off cage. Winston keeps it in play, spinning it around. Dolan. Stagnita's got the shorty on him now. Slips at goal line extended, regains his footing. We talked about the depth of the JU midfield, and they've done a nice job so far running guys in and out, but a fresh Evan Tyler with a shorty on him down that right alley, trying to get underneath. Shot high, score! Jacksonville, Evan Tyler announces his presence with authority.
He comes in with the fresh legs. He has a nice little alley dodge, and boy, he just really made it easy.
Boy, as much as Bellarmine slid and came early on help, nobody was there, and they have to know to pay attention to Evan Tyler.
And it's funny how you have Evan back in with Jeremy and Dolan, that the unit looks completely different, right? They're so comfortable playing with each other. This is year 3 that they're together, and It was noticeable right off the bat.
Less than a minute into the second half, and Jacksonville extends their lead 10-2. At some point, we're going to see if the Bellarmine Knights, stay in this game. Coach Whitley's going to do his best job to keep it going, but here comes Stagnita, another face-off win. Make it, take it. It's turned into for Jacksonville. Running some new midfielders in, so Jacksonville going with their second midfield. Here comes Hedinger. We'll probably see a more balanced, keeping guys together on their lines now that Evan Tyler's returned to the action.
I would think so.
Tempting him to get down that left alley. Robinson to Hedinger. Here comes Heed out of the box. He gets the shorty matchup. Has spent some time at attack as well, so that invert game with these hybrid attack midfielders for Jacksonville. Here comes Trapetta. Back to Heed. Pressing way out, 30 yards from cage. Heed is content to dish it back off to Trapetta, left-handed. Back down the right alley. Trapetta looking. Help comes. Ball is on the ground. Oh, he tried to keep it in, but he stepped on the line.
That was really good defense by John Robbins.
Defensive stop for Bellarmine. Robbins is an impressive player. We've seen him 8 caused turnovers coming into this game. He's all over the field. He is big time.
He's looked really good. Led a couple of transition opportunities for Bellarmine early in the game. And that takeaway was nice to watch.
Jacksonville did not believe that he was out of bounds, but the referee saw it that way. That's a turnover from Bellarmine. Adam Baker controls on the clear. They like to check that shorty all the way down back to the goalie. Evan Tyler's checking down now. They look back towards the box to Jeremy Winston. Across the midfield line. Look at Evan Tyler with that pep in his step. He's excited to play. He had to watch the first half for whatever reason. He's back out there now. Lamond. Back to Hedinger. Swings it around. Roll back, throw back. Winston across to Lamond. Shot. Save off the pipe. I think he deflected it into the pipe. Really impressed with Bozic.
He was definitely a question mark at the beginning of the game, but he's looked solid the whole entire game.
So now Winston slows it down as we approach 65 seconds on the shot clock, and Jacksonville balances up their midfield. Dolan to Robinson. There's Winston, back to Tyler. Tyler, double clutches. Tyler's not afraid of that contact when he penetrates, and it frees up Dolan, who had a long pole on him earlier in the game. Now they have to switch it over. There's a shot.
Another nice save.
Kick save and a butte from Bozic, backed up by Jacksonville. But my point was that Dolan was drawing the LSM earlier, and now he's got the shorty on him with the presence of Tyler, and that is a game changer.
It really is. Who are you going to pick, right? We talked earlier today. Was Bellarmine going to double pole the midfield or not? We haven't seen that yet, but at some point you would think that's going to happen.
Stagnita swings it around. Here comes Dolan. Now they are polling Dolan. Back to Winston. He's a threat, lefty and righty. We saw his breakout game on national TV against Ohio State, Jeremy Winston. I think it was 5 goals as a sophomore. Here comes Evan Tyler.
And now, Ray, they're triple polling the midfield, right? All 3 midfielders have a pole on them.
That's not surprising. We talked about that pregame, that it might happen. Evan Tyler shot. Check came in. Forces it wide. Stagnita. Stagnita brings it back in on the inbounds. Working that 2-man game with Lamond behind the goal. Rolls back through X. Back to Lamond. Wing dodge with the shorty. Trying to get underneath. He does. Shot, score. Oh, off the side of the net. Off the side of the net. Good job by Bozic to cover that near pipe. Looked like it slipped in off the side of the net, and a successful clear for Bellarmine. Long pass into the attack. Caught Dixon Smith sleeping. Good look. Good clear. Landon Trout.
And Jacksonville extending the pressure on the ball. It's not going to be an easy day for Bellarmine at this point.
So here comes Griffin Bowie on Winston. Down that right alley, looking, trying to get an angle. Doesn't. Gets shoved off angle. Good ball movement right now from Bellarmine. Feed down low check came in. Nice time check. It's going to be a pass. Not a pass. I wonder if they're calling it a deflection or a shot. Either way, it's Bellarmine's ball. Whiteford trying to get to the middle. Winston shoving him into a double team. Switch. Shot wide. That's decent ball movement from Bellarmine. You just got to get that shot on cage when you're trailing by 8 goals in the third quarter.
You do, and Jack Dolan's comfortable playing defense. Jeremy Winston not so much, and Bellarmine's going after him.
Landon Trout, covered by Dolan, pushing that goal line extended into the hip. Shot wide, and Dolan's one of those guys that old school, you don't fear just because he's a strong offensive player. You don't feel him getting fear with him on defense. He does a nice job.
His entire career, he's had a bunch of defensive reps, and Coach Galloway's not worried about him being back there playing defense.
Just watching Baker out of the cage, even there, he kind of pushes the issue. There's an excitement about the way he plays, and I think it translates to the rest of the team. He's got that confidence and pep in his step.
And Jacksonville's been very successful in their clears. I'm not sure what the percentage is at this point, and I think that's all attributable to Adam Baker.
Heed out of the substitution box. We'll see if Jacksonville starts making more subs as some of those frontline players, Jeremy Winston and so forth, have been up and down the field, playing a lot of defense, and they've got the depth, and this is a good time to get some younger players experience, capable younger players. Shot from distance, that's a goal. Hedinger from distance, and once again, that's a perfectly placed shot off stick side high.
It almost looked like practice. He had a step down from 8 yards, no one on him, had plenty of opportunity to look at the goal. The goalie's obviously moving upon the pass to see where the ball's coming from, and no chance for Bozic to save that. Just
good shooting and good confidence builder for Jacksonville. You start sinking some of these distance shots, and we've talked about Jacksonville being a little bit hesitant from those rangy shots. You make a few of them, your confidence goes up, and practice becomes a little more excited as well. Another face-off where Cap's just done a great job. Alex Rickard Gilbert enjoying the day so far today, our athletic director here at Jacksonville University. Straight back to Baker. See Evan Tyler coming out of the box, streaking. High clear, high ride from Bellarmine. Across to Hedinger. They're not necessarily conceding it, but there are open Jacksonville players on both sides of the midfield line on these clears.
Yeah, it looks like they're running a deep 3-3 zone, and Jacksonville's not having any problem with it.
Here comes Heed, back to Hedinger, the goal scorer. 11-2 with 7:54 to remain in the third quarter. A little bit of a slip there by the defense. Rubeck. Here comes Heed on that shorty, trying to get underneath. Early slide, spin it. Evan Tyler takes the pressure, runs through it. Good back check attempt, and the ball is down. There's Robbins with that caused turnover, just throwing checks and landing checks. Very impressed with that guy, watching him play. Heed comes up with it, Jack Heed, to brother Tom. And Jacksonville has 7 seconds on the shot clock. There's a shot and a score. A lot of contact in front of the goal, but it results in a goal.
That just looks like Bellarmine is fatigued.
Might have been. Welcome back to Jacksonville University. Mid-70s and partly cloudy, and the score is 12-2. Jacksonville on top of Bellarmine. Cap's done a nice job for Jacksonville on the face-off. Pushes this one forward. Bellarmine ball. It's a face-off win for the Knights. That last goal was by Brett Riley. Took a hit, a little bit of a pile-up afterwards, but a nice goal by Brett Riley. Back onto the offense is Bellarmine, Griffin Bowie. Over to Landon Trout.
At this point, you just need a quality shot from Bellarmine.
Jacksonville's the team coming early. See if they can recover. Shot from distance. It's deflected. Evan Tyler ate that one in the ankle. Picked back up. Trout. Not much on that shot. Good pressure from Jacksonville.
It looks like Jacksonville's okay with that matchup because you didn't see the defense sliding early on that.
That was Antonucci putting that good defensive pressure on that hip, coming around that goal line extended. Jacksonville looking for that quick start. Here's Brett Riley. Back to Antonucci. Takes a little bit of a hit as he dishes it off to Stagnita. There's a flag down. So I'm not sure if that was late or high. We'll see. I'm guessing illegal body check. Little ticky-tack. But Stagnita, dip, dunk, deflected wide. It's going to be a man-up opportunity. Cross-check. Cross-check. Jody Tyser, the referee, makes the signal for cross-check. So Jacksonville is going to get a 1-minute extra man. You decide. It's a penalty.
Yeah, the play was right in front of Jody, so at that point, right, you got to give him the benefit of the doubt on that one.
So it's going to be a 1-minute cross-checking penalty. Colin Murray's going to serve that penalty. Evan Tyler joining the extra man unit. Jeremy Winston to Jack Dolan, back to Stagnita, spinning it around. See what happens on the crease here, just clearing out, rotating around through the crease. Skip to the backside. It looked like Tyler might have been open, streaking through. Good pressure from Bellarmine. Here's a 4-on-3 if they can hurry. Jacksonville hustling back. Shot score, perfectly placed shot.
So Jacksonville ran the same man of play back to back, and the defense had this scouted out, and they weren't going to let the pass, the pass the backside get there this time.
So you have Dylan Toulette, man down defender, scores that goal with a perfectly placed shot to the far side. It was stick side, but he tucked it right inside of the far post.
And I think that was Rubik on the
procedure. Thought I heard a whistle, but it's a quick restart. Stagnita to Tyler. It looks like because of the poles on Tyler now, they're moving him behind the goal. They're still man up. Yep, still man up or a new man up. Now the penalty is released. Here comes Dolan. Back to Winston. Very deliberate on offense right now. It looks like Jacksonville's taking a little bit of the air out of the ball. Back to the near side. Shot wide. Pressure came in from Fennell there and disrupted Tyler. Forced to shoot around him with that sidearm shot. We had a good look at it here, and it was about 2 feet wide. Possession back to Jacksonville. Jeremy Winston. Once again, Jacksonville making the most of these possessions, not really pushing it. 23 seconds on the shot clock. Plenty of time. Stagnita back to the near side. Tyler, double clutches. Back to Stagnita, operating out top. Three seconds. There's a shot from Stagnita. Goal. 2 seconds left on the shot clock. That was 8 when I said 3. 2 seconds left on the shot clock, and Stagnita showing his range.
And so we looked at the roster earlier today, and Stagnita is listed as a midfielder. So it looks like Coach Galloway recognized the fact that he has played midfield before and moved him up to the top of the field.
4 years as a midfielder at Johns Hopkins before transferring to Jacksonville, and you can see the little chess match going on between coaches. Okay, you're going to pull our midfielder Tyler, take him behind, and bump Stagnita up top. He's comfortable up there, and taking advantage of the depth of JU's hybrid attack midfielders. And Cap with another face-off win. Good stat day for Cap as he swings it back to Adam Baker, going up and getting one. wide open on the near side. That's Hutchinson. Looks him off. Sails a pass into the offensive end. Jacksonville unsettled. Garrity throws it through a stick. Looking for that early offense. Now they'll sub it out, settle it down. But Stagnita. So is this a zone here? It might be moving into a zone. Keep an eye on it. See
Yes.
if players are
right.
fouled through.
They
Yeah,
are playing a zone.
Stagnita carried the ball from the left to the middle, and no one followed him. So packing it into a zone here is Bellarmine. Luke Robinson. Stagnita directing traffic. Son of longtime legendary coach Jim Stagnita. Goddard to Stagnita. Goddard through traffic, shot and a score. So a little backdoor cut through the zone.
Little give and go, right?
You got to keep those zone defenders guessing. Once you travel from one zone to another, whether you have the ball or whether you don't, you're somebody's responsibility, and they just pick that seam. And whether it was a backdoor cut or a cut off a give and go, just a nice combination play, and Goddard with a strong finish in front of the goal. And Bozic, as well as he's played today, he's faced some difficult shots from some difficult spots.
Right. At some point you break down. You know that as a former goalie, right?
No, it's never happened. No, you're right though. You try to keep your head in the game, and you know you're the only goalie on the roster. It's 14-3 with 2 minutes to go. But you have to look at this as an opportunity to play lacrosse that got taken away last year. Ball is booted in front of the goal. Here comes Robinson.
And we heard that same thing from Coach Whitley in a podcast where he just talked about giving his players opportunities to play. And
Didn't he mention the possibility of not having a goalie?
And he did mention.
He did mention that, and that was a month ago with Terry Foy, and here they are today, traveling with one goalie suited up today. But you're right. You have to look at it as I have an opportunity to play. I remember being a goalie and being pelted in college, losing by 20 goals, and you just have to have that mindset. I'm going to save the next one. Dolan to Winston. Down that right alley. Quick switch. Trying to beat the recovery. Evan Tyler tries to go high. Thought he was going to shoot it the first time. He double clutched and kind of got his timing off.
Hesitation in this game is not your friend from the offensive perspective.
They're trying to shut off. They were shutting off Stagnita, at least trying to keep him from that back door cut. And Jacksonville just weaving those midfielders up top. Back behind the goal to Stagnita. Back to the near side. Luke Robinson, he's touched the ball a lot, but not for very long. It's in and out of his stick, like number 10. Evan Tyler trying to get underneath. Short clock. That's fine. Get back on defense right now because it's going to be a turnover either way. So right now Jacksonville's got to hustle back on defense. Stop this quick restart. You do see Jacksonville subbing some new guys in on defense. There's Dixon Smith marking. There's Heed.
Once again, Jacksonville extending pressure out on the Bellarmine offense.
There's Playstead, covered by Dixon Smith. Back to Bowie. Less than a minute to go in the third quarter. Shot saved by Adam Baker. Off hip stick, got that hand down, and you saw him kind of slide that right foot and step to it.
It was a quality shot and a quality save.
Nice shot from Bellarmine, creating that offensive opportunity. And there's a swing and a miss behind the goal. Feed to the backside, step down, shot, score! Stung it, upper 90, Griffin Bowie. Good ball movement, and that backside became open, and Bowie had a chance to step down and puts it upper right on the left-handed goalie.
Bowie saw the Jacksonville defender leave that territory, and what did he do? He took over that location, and he's wide open for that step-down shot.
So a nice job. You get the goalie turning. Baker's waving, saying it's his, but I'm going to say it's Bowie's because that was a tremendous shot.
Yeah.
Once, like you said, he slipped into that space. Perfect feed, catch, release, upper 90. 14-4 is our score. Once again, face-off here with 30.6 seconds. Jacksonville's dominated at the face-off spot. And you see Yori in there facing off for Bellarmine with the long pole.
I give Coach Whitley a lot of credit. He's tried a lot of different formulas at that face-off.
20 seconds as the ball is possessed by Bozic. 18-2 is the face-off advantage right now. And here's Jacksonville with an opportunity in short time into the offensive end. Shot, score!
That was a good look by
That's
Jordan
Chase. Looks like it's Stephen Chase with his first goal at Jacksonville University. In transition, another short time demoralizing goal, and Stephen Chase with a strong finish.
Yeah, he's going to thank Jordan Young because there's not too many times you'll see an LSM, pass up a shot and to hit the attackman down low.
With the near side shot, Stephen Chase from nearby Maclay, 2.5 hours just west of us. Congratulations on your first goal. Originally committed to Furman, and when their program disbanded, came here. I remember Stephen in 2010, the first year at JU as a little kid, taking a team picture with the JU kids way back when he was visiting with his dad Brooke, and to see him out here scoring his first goal is it's nice to see. Face-off win for Jacksonville. Shot. That's Chase one more time. Goes wide, and we are at the end of the third quarter of play. Our score is Jacksonville 15. Bellarmine 4. It's Division I men's lacrosse on ESPN+.
I think the sketchy website I bought this turtle from stole all...
On top, Jim, what's jumped out at you in terms of the diversity of scoring?
Jacksonville right now has 10 goal scorers, and we were wondering if they were going to be able to put up some points today, and they really have showed that they're willing to move the ball to the right location. We have Dolan and Hettinger with 3 goals each, Robinson with 2, and there's 7 other players with 1 goal.
And you look at some of the new guys contributing, whether it's Sam Chase, Connor Shears, just Matt Stagnita, the ability of Coach Galloway to take in some transfers and some freshmen and put them right into the action here has been impressive, especially with the limitations on their ability to practice as a team. They look sharp today. You can't avoid the face-off stat, 20 of 22 for Jacksonville. So it's a delayed penalty situation. Jacksonville will be man down once play stopped. Looked like a cross-check. So an opportunity for a free possession here. Here's Teo trying to get underneath. Loose ball in front. Baker cleans it up. So you can see the penalty here as the cross check is called. Extra man opportunity for Bellarmine. Their EMO, or their man up early in the season, has looked pretty sharp. You got to pay attention to those stick fakes, skips, behind the back passes. It'll be a strength of their team. Jacksonville just has not given them too many opportunities today. First time served penalty for Jacksonville, which was a key to the game for us, stay out of the penalty box.
Without a doubt. Against Utah, they were 50%, and they do a lot of ball movement. They go from an open set to a 1-4-1 to a 3-3, and it'll be interesting to see if they run the same play.
See how close Jacksonville packs it in and tests those outside shooters. There's a shot from distance, and it's a goal. So we talked about testing Adam Baker from outside on the man up, and Landon Trout stings one. Might have gone 5-hole, but looked like he either was screened or caught him guessing. He was really slow to react, but kudos to Landon Trout. Just a nice shot, low shot. Baker's wishing he had that one low-to-low goal for Landon Trout. 15-5 is our score. So 1 for 1 on the man up for Bellarmine.
The man up continues to be impressive.
Very controlled defense from Jacksonville. That's the first time serving penalty, and part of it is just overall possession. Jacksonville winning the face-offs and having the ball in their offensive end so much of the game. Near side wing, Chase Fairbanks. Far side wing for Jacksonville, Jack Dolan. On the near side, it's Vaxman. Face-off win by Cap, but he runs into trouble. Ball is on the ground. Stop for Bellarmine. Here comes John Robbins. He's got Vaxman upfield. Nice job hustling back in transition for Jacksonville.
and Heat applying a bunch of pressure
Yeah.
out there.
He is chasing. Braden Brown. Nice job today by Tyler Morris on Braden Brown. Griffin Bowie. Ball is down. Little slip. Nice check comes in from Garrity. Bowie does a nice job of picking it back up. Feed to the backside. Jacksonville recovers. That was Trout. Down low. Pass to Axe, hung up behind. Feed to the top side. Shot, score. Another low-to-low shot, and that's a goal for number 39. The freshman, Kyle, placed it.
That's great ball movement. There was a swim dodge on the alley. They get the ball through X, and then nice time and room up front.
So 2 quick goals from Bellarmine. They're making the most of the possessions that they have been able to manage. Good defensive stops, scrambling for the loose balls. We've seen the ball on the ground a lot, 50-50 balls, and Bellarmine coming up with them. So I like the fight from the Knights. Simonton versus Cap. Clamp, rake, back to Young. Young up to Stagnita. No reason to push it right now. You've had 2 tough defensive stands where you've been scored upon. Time to let the offense possess the ball a little bit. Every time I say that, they push it to the goal and take a quick shot. So we'll see.
Well, and what did Cap do the face-off before this? He pushed it forward and you know,
He forced it a bit.
He forced it a bit, and this time he just pushed the ball back.
Feed to the crease. Shot saved by Bozic. Loose ball picked up by Bellarmine. Robick over to Robbins. Ball skips through. Nice job. That was Braden Brown. Baker comes out and cleans it up. He's under pressure. Rolls it back to Tyler Morris. Back to Baker. There's a flag for that late hit. So there was a little push on Morris away from the ball, and that is called.
Yep.
Nice job by Baker coming to get it, but I got to tell you, Braden Brown, that long pass was coming through into the offense. He put a check on and caught the ball, so he knocked his defender's stick away and still managed to catch it. So Jacksonville's extra man. One of 3 on the day. So, Jim, let me ask you a question. So you practice man up. Evan Tyler's in the man up, but he doesn't start the game, and somebody else is in his spot in the first half, and you score a nice goal. Do you stick with the game plan and put Tyler in there, or do you stick with what worked in the first quarter? As a coach,
I think you have to put the best sticks out
okay.
there. So if Evan's one of those 6, you put him back in.
All right. So Jacksonville starting off in that 3-3. Dolan, Stagnita, a couple of stick fakes over to Lamond. Stretching that top of the defense out a bit. They're chasing. Look for something to open up inside. Jeremy Winston locked and loaded. He's going to step into one and sails it over the goal. 17 seconds in the extra man. Lamond back to Winston, over to Dolan. Just content to work it around and be patient. Back to Winston. That one's on target. Shot and a score. Jeremy Winston.
That was really nice by Jack Dolan, just going ahead and stretching and moving his defender, pulling him off target. And Jeremy got to the middle of the field and catch and release, right?
So you'll see Dolan just kind of back up with the ball in his stick, pulls the defense over, as you mentioned, Jim, and Winston, who sailed one high on the prior shot, dialed it down. What do you tell kids as coaches? No one's ever shot it under the goal.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's what he attempted to do, and it went in after sailing one well high in the previous attempt. So extra man goal for Jacksonville. 16-6 is our score, 10:55.
Such an important thing to do as an offensive player, and to be able to stretch a defense like that and pull your defender out of position.
Cap with the clean ground ball face-off win. Sends it back to Baker as he jogs it upfield. Finds Evan Tyler, who's going to attack the midfield line over to his partner Dolan. Those two have combined for some beautiful teamwork and plays over the past few years. With the newcomer Goddard over to Tyler, back to Goddard. So we talked about Jacksonville's depth at midfield, and earlier on they were rotating combination after combination of hybrid attack midfielders, and now they've kind of settled in. Backside, Evan Tyler, shot, score. So Goddard found Evan Tyler, just did a little bit of a backdoor sneak and alley-oop over to Evan Tyler.
Yeah, and Goddard was someone that when we watched the Limestone scrimmage, he got a lot of playing time, and he really was looking comfortable out there, and that play was indicative of just his comfort level of being out on the field and being able to skip pass like that to Evan Tyler down low.
And the excitement that Evan Tyler demonstrates on the field, you can see it. He didn't play in the first half. He came out and scored a quick goal, and now you see him just flashing. The Bellarmine defense has got to be a little gassed right now, and you have this guy come out and start flashing. It's like those guys who show up late at the pickup games right before the end and everyone else is exhausted.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. Here comes Garrity, another face-off win, and it is a problem for Bellarmine that they're going to have to figure out if they want to have any success this season, because they have a good team. They've got a lot of capability and experience on offense and defense, but yeah, it doesn't do you much good if the other team just keeps the ball. So here's Goddard and Dolan waiting for that third midfielder.
And Bellarmine's just sitting back now at this point.
Here's Heed, 17 goals for Jacksonville. Heed, left hand, trying to get underneath, feed to the crease. That was Dolan with a left-handed dodge, and the ball is on the ground, picked up. Good job by Luke Robinson to get back on defense, and Lamont with the takeaway in the ride. So a turnover in the clearing game for Bellarmine, and this Knights defense, who's been on defense for so much of this game, made a good stop, and here they find themselves on their heels once again. Heed, Dolan, and Goddard at the midfield with Lamond, Robinson, and Stagnita on attack. Actually, that's Chase on attack. There's Robinson to Dolan. Back to Lamond. He's going to press, pivots at X, gets around the left goal line extended. Double comes. He lost the ball before that double came, and here comes Goddard trying to keep it in front of him. Pinned in the corner. Timeout. Yep. Called that timeout. That's a possession timeout, 17-6. So Jacksonville's got 37 seconds left on that shot clock, and the longer you can keep it away, it's no use in taking that timeout home.
The ball, yeah, and the ball's been on the offensive side for Jacksonville for the majority of the second half.
So we're going to stay here through this timeout. 8:35 to go in the fourth quarter. Jacksonville 17, Bellarmine 6. I'm Ray Carnicelli.
Causing a turnover.
Yeah, that was Lamond with the takeaway on that ride there, but you're right. Now we have Chase and Lamond joining, the likes of Robinson and Stagnita, and you just go through. Heed playing in front of the goal and behind the goal, and the hybrid midfield is something we expected to see from Jacksonville, and they're making the most of it right now. So a Jacksonville possession with 8:36 to go in regulation, 37 seconds on the shot clock coming out of this timeout. Jacksonville taking a little extra time as Coach Grinelli draws something up. We see Brett Riley, who started the game at attack, back in. So it's Riley, Robinson, McKenna, Chase, Winston, and Tyler. So here comes McKenna. Played most of the last 2 seasons at attack in that hybrid position once again. And Evan Tyler's going to take a run at that shorty.
Bellarmine came out in the zone.
So last time in the zone, we saw a little give-go through the seams. Feed down low. There's Tyler up top to McKenna. Looking for one more pass to Chase, but the ball's deflected. Good job by Chase to keeping it away from the defense, trying to swing it around to the backside. Here's Winston looking. There's Riley. 4 seconds on the shot clock. There's a shot just wide. Either way, it's going to be Bellarmine's possession. So you come out of that timeout, and you very not uncommon to jump into a zone, shorter time in the shot clock.
And as a coaching staff, you have to be prepared for that because most teams do change up their defense coming out of a timeout.
Jacksonville attempted to put the pressure on the zone by carrying from zone to zone, and Bellarmine did a good job of passing players off. Heavy ride from Chase. Offsides for Bellarmine, unforced error. So here comes JU. Sam Chase. So Luke Robinson's just going to take a stroll right now. Jacksonville goes through their substitution. Good defensive stand by Jake Antonucci.
Looks like Jacksonville has Dolan, Goddard, and Heed out there for midfield.
Antonucci's another one of those transfers in from Providence, contributing here in game one. There's Chase, zips it over to Heed. Backside pass to Robinson. Robinson, the Canadian, just keeps that head of his stick right up by his ear, and he doesn't like to hold it long. Very effective swinging that ball around. Or we've seen some quick sticks from him and some nice ball movement. Goddard slips through two, bangs it through X. Back to Chase behind the back. Goal! Sam Chase. Amazing ball movement, and Sam Chase with the behind the back finish. Took a hit. What a whole segment for Jacksonville.
Yeah, that was really nice. Goddard actually took the initiative, beating his man, drawing the slide, and 2 passes later, you have Sam Chase behind the back.
And I think Sam Chase, he the way his body was positioned with his left foot towards the clean face-off win, stepping in, shot, saved by Bozic. And it's possessed, and here's an opportunity on a fast break. Here's Robick, 2 goals in game one. Very patient, hits the point man. Brown, saved by Baker. Oh, and turns it over. There's Brown again, shot, score. So Baker's going to want that sequence back. He made a great save, but I think he got the hockey assist on that one.
Yeah, he did. There goes his perfect game. But I actually give Rubik a lot of credit on that. How many players would actually just, especially from poles, would come down and just let that one go? He ran the fast break like you should run the fast break, hitting the point man, and Bellarmine got a good look at it, and Baker made the save.
It was a beautiful save, wiped out by that turnover. But you mentioned Robick on that fast break. He recognized that he had separation. He slowed down. He was patient. So many times poles, whether they're close defenders or LSMs, come down and they get all anxious. They run right into the point man.
Yeah, and you look at the score, and he's been playing a lot of defense, and most defenders have that in their mindset that they're just going to let it rip.
And there's a face-off win, a rare face-off win for Bellarmine. I watched Rubik jog back, and looks a little winded. He's in great shape. He is a leader. He could play anywhere, anytime, but he's put in a lot of work today.
He certainly has.
There's Trout. Right-handed cradle, trying to get underneath. Shot, score. Goal for Bellarmine, and I'm trying to get the goal scorer there. It looked like it may have been James Whiteford, and that pass may have been deflected, but Whiteford just stayed focused on it, caught it streaking, and it was a well-placed shot.
And you definitely see, moments of really good execution from the Bellarmine offense. Again, it goes down to the fact of you got to get them the ball.
So 18-8 is our score. 5:46 remaining in the game. Cap with that clamp and rake straight back. Possession to Jacksonville. Dishes it off to Chase. It was Hedinger on the wing. Up to Tyler. So Trapetta. We'll see if Dolan and Winston are done for the day. Obviously, Evan Tyler didn't play in the first half, so he's got plenty of legs, paired up with Hedinger and Trapetta. Here's Hedinger. Tyler fakes a pick. Hedinger carries it back through Chase up top. Here's Evan Tyler. That was Trapetta to Tyler. Looking for that backside feed. Looking. Skip across to the backside. Shot, score, Robinson with the overhand hammer. And you saw Tyler head up.
He did. He did. He knew exactly where he wanted to go with the ball. As soon as he saw the defensive positioning, he knew that there was going to be an opening on the backside.
Don't want to overstate Luke Robinson's ability to catch and release and how quickly he gets the ball out of his stick. And as you can see with Tyler, head up, he's not afraid to shoot from there. We've seen him slip in no-look shots before, but as you mentioned, he was looking for something to come open on the backside, and Luke Robinson was ready to go. 19-8 is our score. 4:56 to go in the game. There's Cap. Little hockey move. Across to Young. Here's a 4-on-3. There's numbers. Little pump fake. Shot. Sails it over the goal, and Sam Chase was looking for a second. Just got to get it on goal at this point. Here's Riley. Jordan Young got upfield fast, didn't he?
He did. And again, to his credit, he ran the fast break the way you should. Hit the point man.
You see the wing player, the LSM, throw a pump fake when he's on the point, and it actually slows things down a little bit. Throws the timing off a little bit.
It does.
But he's got some swagger, and he's had so many highlights in his short JU career. Jacksonville digging into the roster a little bit. We see Pio out there, number 39. There's Pio with the ball now. One more pass. There's Riley coming around next. Up top to Pio. Shot wide. Jacksonville's getting some looks. These young players are anxious. They're getting shots. Hit the 6x6.
We've watched a lot of Jacksonville lacrosse over the years, and this is by far the best ball movement that they've displayed in a really long time.
Goalie change for Jacksonville. So Adam Baker comes out of the game. Stepping in is Jack Goodwin. So Jack Goodwin hasn't played in too many games. He's been at Jacksonville for a while, but when he has, even in scrimmages, last year against Colgate over in Tallahassee, very impressive. The other day against Limestone, save after save after save, and he is a team leader. You could be the second or third string goalie and be a team leader if you practice like the game's on the line, and that's what he does.
Yeah, and he really was impressive last week against Limestone and made a doorstop, save when there was no right to be saving the ball, and you could just see the whole sideline elevate once that occurred.
There's Hedinger. Back to Stagnita. So it looks like a man-up opportunity for Jacksonville. Missed that one when we were looking at the goalie chain, so we got that first team man-up back in the game right now. There's Lamond to Winston. It's a 30-second variety. So not a lot of time to get things going. There's Lamont as Jacksonville rolls. Once again to the backside shot. Nice save. Bozic goes down and gets it. Evan Tyler hustling for that ground ball. Penalties about to release. Jacksonville may get one more chance in the odd man rush. There's Evan Tyler. Back to Stagnita. There's the release. So Jacksonville recognizes it and pulls it out. Content to play 6-on-6 with plenty of time on the shot clock. 60 seconds. 19-8 is our score. The season opener for Jacksonville. There's Jeremy Winston down the right alley. He probably questioned if he was done for the day, but gets out there for man up. Stay out. Shot. Nice save. Back-to-back saves by Jack Bozic. I like Bozic. I like the way he came in here very confident, made some early saves. It's going to be a goalie competition, I think, at Bellarmine for the rest of the year.
From what I saw, they have 3 strong goalies.
So there is a timeout. Timeout called by Bellarmine as they look to catch their breath, playing a lot of defense. They're going to try to set up this offense, work on some things.
Yeah,
19-8.
Yeah, this next possession is all about getting better, right? We're going to get a 6-on-6 set. We're going to be patient, draw up a play, and see if we can put one on the back of the net.
C Network at 6 p.m., followed by neutral site game, Mercer. I believe that game's in Savannah. Then they're playing at Navy on February 28th, at Utah, and then they're back here on March 14th, 1 o'clock ESPN Plus against, Duke.
Welcome home. But that's the kind of schedule that Coach Galloway likes to play in the preseason.
So Bellarmine with the ball. Looks like they're digging into their roster a bit as well. Call that timeout, get some new fresh legs out there, give them their mission, play strong, earn your place on the field. We've got Cunningham to Winner. Winner, right-handed alley dodge, covered by Garrity, working it behind. And sails it towards the sideline. It's going to be out of bounds. Nice bump, loose ball by Hutchinson, earns the ball back. Swinging it back to Goodwin. Upfield to Garrity. Pio's calling for the ball. And there's Goddard's open. So Jacksonville with a successful cleared as Goddard has it. 62 seconds left on the shot clock, 1:30 on the game clock. Goddard. He's going to take a run at that shorty. Dishes it off to Trapetta. See Keegan Pearl out there, the senior transfer from Furman. Number 17 for Jacksonville, working from the X position. Jacksonville with a turnover. Little discombobulated on offense. It's going to be called a tip, so it's going to be Jacksonville possession. Pio over to Goddard. Back to Pio. He's going to take a run. Shot is disrupted. He's got to run that one out. That goalie's hustling. Good hustle from Bozic, but Jacksonville just had too far of a head start. So here comes Chase. Sam Chase around the right goal line extended. Passes it up. Jacksonville player is mugged as time expires. Or excuse me, that's going to be a shot clock violation. The time expired on the shot clock. There's 28 seconds left on the game clock, and it's going to be a loose ball push. So Pio to Trapetta to McKenna. Victory formation for Jacksonville as McKenna's going to hold on to it. 19-8 is our score, approaching 10 seconds in regulation. Coach Galloway's got to be excited about his ball movement. That's our final score as the horn blows. 19-8 is our final. Evan Tyler just came in the second